But he gave me everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I say, yo, do it one more time, and and he do it one more time, and they keep on going, we doing that cipher like 50 times, he doing it. And he said, if I say, yo, little more energy, he giving me a little more energy. Give me a different tone. He give me a different tone. He gave me everything that I needed for the record to be, like sonically amazing. So, so it was like, yo, I already knew, who he was. You know what I'm saying? On top of, he's soulful. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's soulful. And that's what the music is all about. And it was like, it was like, we used to build about music and philosophy and all that. And I used to always tell him, I said, yo, for me, making records is all about feeling and texture. It don't have to be, like, you don't have to hit the note perfect like Celine Dion. You know what I mean? I want you to like, feel it, like Mary J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not great singers. Them three not great singers. Stevie Wonder is probably a horrible singer. But he has so much emotion that you feel his music. Same with Mary, same with Bob. I mean, the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like when you like sound great and have feeling like a Marvin Gaye and you know what I mean, Patti LaBelle and Aretha. Now Michael, you know what I mean? Now you in another stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like I have, with him, because, he got the feeling and the soul texture. You know what I'm saying? And he has a great voice. He's musical. And that's why I fit in making music, in Jamaica, because, I'm musical. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stopped using samples. I can't even remember, you know what I mean? Like, when I stopped, but it was early in the game because, my whole thing was about releasing records. And so now with the digital platforms, you had the SoundCloud, YouTube, and, different mediums where it's like, if you got a sample, and iTunes at the time too, if you got a sample, like, if they could detect that it has a sample, you can't upload it unless your paperwork right. You have rights to the music and all of that. Before it became to the digital realm and we selling CDs and cassettes, mixtapes and albums, independent project. It didn't. If it had a sample or not, nobody could stop it. You know what I mean? If the record took off, then they come in to see you. But now it's worth it. You know what I mean? But now it's like, yo, you can't even. You know what I mean? Like, I did a track. And it had a SWV sample, you know what I mean? And it was like, I couldn't even load it to YouTube because, you know what I mean? It was, what they call it, copyright. They checking it for copyright. It came back, yo, this got that, and that, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started learning how to play. And that's one of the benefits of me moving to Jamaica, because with Jamaica I didn't have to work so hard and spend so much time making money, you know what I'm saying, outside the game. Like, so now I can study, learn, not just business, about practicing, cleaning karma. You know what I'm saying? I learned that through reading, you know what I'm saying, and studying. Like I said, what put me on that path was the book Do You by Russell Simmons. And he talked about transcendental meditation. That right there is what really propelled me, you know what I'm saying, to like going on to another level where it's like I don't have the weight of things that I had done in the past. You know what I mean? I've got a clean slate. And that transcendental meditation, may sound, sophisticated or something, but it's basically meditation, and you only focusing on your breath. So now I could clear my mind. And all I'm focusing on when I'm meditating is my breathing, right? Like when I first started meditating, I get frustrated because it's like I'm trying to clear things out of my mind, you know. But but the more I learned, it wasn't about clearing your mind. It's about focusing on the breathing. If you focus on the breathing, and it always comes back to see, like I just went into a trance right now where I just nothing was I was aware of nothing else but the breathing. You know what I'm saying? So that's really transcendental meditation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I learned. You know what I'm saying? I was able to clear my mind and focus and be still. Because we all know, you know, be still and know God and all of these, you know, things. But how do we be still? Right? The trick is like trying to figure out how to be still. So anyway, now I'm in Jamaica and I know how to meditate, and I'm focusing on my spirituality, right? Because that's a part of life, right? The spirit can't live without the body, and the body can't live without the spirit, right? So don't, you know, but that might go over some people's heads. So, but if you research outside of just one book, it might take many books or listening to many wise men. You'll come to, you know, to see what I'm talking about, you know, and getting back to seeing what I'm talking about in the 5% mathematics, right? You know, it's the supreme mathematics, and it's a 1 through 10, right? The first 3 is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So the knowledge is to look, listen, and observe, right? So I always think of it as like a scientist, right? The scientist looks, listens, and observes, right? But they might not be acting on what they're observing, so that's just knowledge, right? But to take that knowledge to another level, we have to practice that knowledge. Write it down, jot it, remember it, live it, right? Because wisdom is a manifestation of knowledge. So manifest means to do, to act, to practice, right? Practice knowledge. Or if we practice our dreams, we have to do our dreams, live our dreams out, right? So if we get the knowledge and then practice the knowledge, in time we will understand it to see with the mind. Understand it is the third eye, right? So I knew this, and that allowed me to know the transcendental meditation, because once you understand that and study the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which is the supreme wisdom, or in the nation of God's earth, 5%, as Elijah Muhammad described, is that it's all mathematical. So if you can deal with that, you can become a creator of your world. So now we're not just following along or doing what's expected of us, right? We become God, right? And it doesn't mean the God that you think it is if you don't have knowledge of self. Because if you don't have knowledge of self, then you think that God is in the sky and you can't see him, and it's forbidden for you to see, or you're going to die and all of that. But if you have knowledge of self, you know that God is in you, right? So you don't have to look outside yourself for God. You look for God within, right? So now that means that I'm responsible for my own action, my own future, right? And taking responsibility for my past, right? So I'm not asking a ghost to forgive me. I'm asking myself to forgive me. I'm not asking the ghost to make things happen for me. I'm asking myself to find it myself to become whatever it is, or manifest whatever I deem, necessary. So
P Funk City G.